Have you ever walked into a room and felt wrong? Not because anyone said something, not because you did anything unusual, but because deep down, you sensed that you didn't quite belong. It's not about being rejected, it's about being misaligned, like your internal rhythm is playing in a different key than the rest of the world. If you're an INFJ, INTJ, INFP, or INTP, this feeling might not be occasional. It might be the background hum of your life. Picture four people in the same group setting. They're present, engaged, polite. But internally, each of them feels like an outsider watching from a distant shore. Elena, the INFJ, smiles as she listens. But beneath the smile, her mind is weaving threads. Intuitive impressions, emotional undercurrents, signals others overlook. Her dominant, introverted intuition doesn't process events in a linear way. It synthesizes meaning across time, drawing abstract insights from small cues. She can feel something is off in the room, even if no one else notices. Her extroverted feeling, tuned to social harmony, wants her to stay connected. But she knows that trying to explain what she senses might come across as strange or even unwelcome. So she holds back. She nods. She listens. But inside, she's alone with her vision. But Elena isn't the only one. In the same room, someone else feels the same misalignment, but for a very different reason. Then there's Ethan, the INTJ. Quiet, efficient, independent. His mind is always projecting forward. Introverted intuition again, but this time filtered through extroverted thinking. His thoughts aren't just theoretical. They're forming blueprints, long-term strategies, models that others can't yet see. He tries to bring up a future-oriented idea, only to be brushed off with a laugh or redirected to something trivial. It's not that he thinks he's better than others. It's that the things he values, the clarity of foresight, the elegance of strategy, rarely find resonance in everyday small talk. So he withdraws, not from arrogance, but from exhaustion. Because sharing too much too early only invites confusion, or worse, condescension. Then we meet Claire, the INFP. Her heart leads the way. Introverted feeling makes her deeply attuned to what feels authentic and meaningful. She picks up on injustice, on beauty, on emotional nuance that others might walk past without a second glance. But when she speaks from that place, when she tries to express a value or a feeling that matters to her, she's often met with blank stares. Or worse, advice to be realistic. That advice lands like a knife. Her extroverted thinking, a less natural part of her personality, struggles to assert itself in a world that prizes logic over meaning. So she smiles gently and turns inward. Not because she wants to be alone, but because solitude protects the parts of her that feel most alive. And then there's Miles, the INTP. His silence isn't emotional withdrawal, it's mental immersion. He's analyzing, deconstructing, trying to understand how the world fits together. His introverted thinking is relentless, always optimizing, always asking, but does this really make sense? His extroverted intuition throws him possibilities, questions, alternative angles. But when conversations become emotional or socially charged, he often finds himself unsure of what to say. His extroverted feeling, his fourth function, struggles to respond in real time. He wants to connect, but the emotional tempo feels overwhelming. So he stays quiet, observing, processing, hoping that someday someone might actually follow the path of his logic to its strange but beautiful end. These four personalities all share something crucial. A dominant introverted function, NI for INFJs and INTJs, FI for INFPs, TI for INTPs, that builds a rich, self-contained inner world. These functions don't broadcast their contents. They protect them. They filter experience through a personalized lens before offering it to the outside world. This creates extraordinary depth, but also a quiet wall, a space between how they experience reality and how others expect them to show up in it. And it's not that they want to be distant, but when your reality is layered in meaning, when your thoughts spiral deep instead of wide, it's easy to feel misread, mistranslated, out of sync. For the INFJ, belonging often begins when they allow their FE to guide meaningful dialogue and trust that some people can hold their visions without distorting them. For the INTJ, it comes when they risk sharing the idea before it's perfect, allowing real-time feedback to be part of their vision and letting their FI breathe life into their logic. For the INFP, the key is expression, through writing, art, activism, even vulnerability. When FI finds voice and TE supports follow-through, their inner values gain external shape. And for the INTP, it begins when TI takes a break from precision and lets FE create bridges. When connection becomes a project worth exploring, not just a variable to manage. Maybe feeling out of place isn't a flaw. Maybe it's the signal that you're wired to see things others don't, to care in ways most never will, to think along paths still unexplored. But that doesn't mean you're meant to stay disconnected. There are people who speak your inner language, who don't need you to dilute yourself to be understood, who won't ask you to shrink to fit. The real challenge isn't fitting in, it's belonging, without having to erase yourself in the process. So let me ask you, when have you felt out of place, not because of how others treated you, but because of what you see, or what you feel, or how you think? What part of you has struggled to belong? Share your story in the comments, because your voice might be exactly what someone else has been waiting to hear. And if this spoke to you, stay with us for episode 4, where we'll explore the paralysis of action. Too much analysis, too little doing. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.